Today's video is not about Shelby Oaks. Let me explain. Hey everyone, Hellraiser here. Today is February 18th, and it just so happens that it's my dad's birthday. Now when I woke up this morning and remembered that it was his birthday, a memory came back to me about my last birthday back in October. Now like a lot of horror fans, every year I take it upon myself to try to watch 31 horror movies in 31 days of October. And as luck would have it, Chris Stuckman's Shelby Oaks was set to be released on my birthday last year. So when my dad called me up that morning, as he does every year, to ask me if I wanted to go have some lunch, I told him sure, I'd like to do that. But I was planning on seeing this new horror movie today, and maybe we could go see that together and then go have some lunch afterwards. And my dad, being a pretty easygoing guy who's usually up for anything, said, yeah, we can do that. Now, I should point out that my dad is not into horror movies, certainly not what he likes to call chop-em-ups. So I would never take him to something like a Terrifier movie. But I knew that Shelby Oaks wasn't going to be that, and I thought he would be okay with it. Now, if you ask my dad what the scariest movie is that he's ever seen, he would tell you that it's Forbidden Planet, a 1950s sci-fi movie about an invisible monster. He saw it when he was a little kid, and he's never forgotten it. I can't tell you how many times he's told me how terrifying it was seeing the stairs to the spaceship being crushed under the weight of that invisible monster's footsteps. Going to the movies with my dad is not something I've done very often as an adult. I had to think really hard to remember the last time we saw a movie in the theaters together, and I'm pretty sure it was Avatar back in 2009, over 15 years ago. And as far as horror movies go, those have been very few and far between. I'm pretty sure I saw Silence of the Lambs with both my parents back in the early 90s. And before that, the only horror movie I can remember ever seeing with either of my parents would have been when my dad took me to see one of the Jaws movies when I was a little kid. Now, it wouldn't have been the original Jaws when it came out in the summer of 1975 because I was only 2 years old. So it was either Jaws 2, which came out in 1978, or I suspect it might have been the original Jaws when it was re-released in theaters in 1979. Anyway, I can remember coming home and my mom asking what we went to see, and when I told her Jaws, she got mad at my dad, said that I was probably going to have nightmares, and I'm pretty sure she was right. So anyway, you might be wondering what my dad thought of Shelby Oaks. Well, it doesn't really matter. The purpose of making this video today isn't to tell you what he thought of the movie or what I thought of the movie. The point of this video is that whenever I do think of Shelby Oaks, from now until the end of time, I will think of it fondly, because I went to see it with my dad. Alright, time to go take my dad out for some lunch. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.